Tensions in the South China Sea has reached boiling point after the U.S. deployed Coast Guard ships to counter Beijing's dominance in the contested region. Over recent months, China has built several military bases on a number of the region's atolls and declared dominance over the highly disputed region. But the U.S., despite having no claim on any part of the archipelago, has hit back at the communist nation. Now, in order to counter Beijing's destabilizing and malign activities in the region, Washington has deployed several Coast Guard vessels to the region. White House National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien said in a statement the U.S. Coast Guard was strategically homeporting significantly enhanced fast response cutters in the Western Pacific. Mr. O'Brien said, "The People's Republic of China's illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, and harassment of vessels operating in the exclusive economic zones of other countries in the Indo-Pacific, threatens our sovereignty, as well as the sovereignty of our Pacific neighbors and endangers regional stability." The USCG is strategically home-porting significantly enhanced fast response cutters, built in a proven Louisiana-based shipyard, in the Western Pacific. He added how U.S. efforts were critical to countering these destabilizing and malign activities. China's fishing fleet is thought to be the world's largest. The country operates a minimum of 2,900 distant water boats that fish outside of China's own maritime borders, according to Eco-Business. South China is already a highly congested area with China, Malaysia, Taiwan, Vietnam, and the Philippines all laying claim to parts of the archipelago. Diplomatic relations between the nations, which have laid claim to the islands, are already extremely strained. But both the US and China have increased their military presence in the region, sparking fears of a World War III outbreak. Back in July, US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo urged the other nations to counter Beijing's dominance and issues an alarming warning to the communist nation. He wrote on Twitter, "The United States policy is crystal clear: the South China Sea is not China's maritime empire." Meanwhile, the Chinese think tank said the U.S. has also incremented its naval ship presence in China by more than 60% since 2009, according to Newsweek. The U.S. Air Force, Navy, and Army currently execute 3 to 5 reconnaissance flights a day. The South China Sea Strategic Situation Probing Initiative (SCSPI) has found that the total of reconnaissance flights has reached more than 1,500 a year. The think tank was founded in April 2019 and analyses air and maritime movements using open-source commercial data. A spokesman told that the U.S. surveillance in the Yellow Sea, and the East and South China Seas, has been steadily rising since Barack Obama's presidency. The spokesman said, "According to our observations, since 2009, the U.S. military has significantly enhanced the frequency of activities in the region by boosting the presence of surface vessels by more than 60%, reaching about 1,000 ship days a year. In the air, it sends on average 3 to 5 warplanes to the South China Sea per day, most of them being reconnaissance aircraft, making a total of more than 1,500 sorties a year, almost twice as many as in 2009. In its latest observation, SCSPI said U.S. spy planes flew at least 60 sorties near China last month. The move was labeled a close-in reconnaissance of Beijing's activities. The organization also described a sharp increase in surveillance aircraft numbers over the Yellow Sea as the People's Liberation Army carried out live-fire military drills nearby. The report read, on September 22, for example, a USAF RC-135S, which specializes in collecting ballistic missiles data, conducted a mission till 8 p.m. over the Yellow Sea, coinciding with the PLA military exercises nearby, during which it electronically disguised as a Filipino civilian plane. According to our observation, a total of 16 sorties of U.S. spy planes were sent to monitor PLA exercises, 13 flew to the Yellow Sea, and 3 to the East China Sea. The spokesman also called attention to the "remarkable change" in U.S. activity in the area. They said, "Generally, these activities have been steadily rising. However, recent years have seen an abnormal increase in their frequency, intensity, and pertinence, which indicates a remarkable change that deserves intensive attention." SCSPI said the U.S. military seemed to be carrying out future preparations for long-distance refueling under extreme conditions. The report comes after Indonesia refused a request by the U.S. to host its P-8 Poseidon maritime surveillance while they refuel, according to 4 Jakarta senior officials. The country does not allow foreign defense forces to operate within its boundaries.